This is what the law says Trump can do to give a 90-day extension. So he can do a one-time, only once, extension. So you got to be careful, because if you do an extension and you're wrong, I don't think you'd get a second one. You can only do it once. But maybe that's not totally clear, because if it doesn't qualify as a real extension, maybe that wasn't really your first one. But you've got to meet 3 criteria. One, there has to be an identified path towards a qualified divestiture. Stay tuned. What does that mean? So you have to be able to say there's a legitimate path towards a sale. Well, TikTok is saying they aren't selling. So how do you get to the point where there is a path towards a sale if one of the parties says they aren't doing it? So TikTok will have to change its tune and say they will sell it. 2, there has to be actual evidence of progress towards that. Well, again, so this is why I don't think it's going to happen within the first day or 2. Trump can't just say these things. He could try. The problem is, and the risk to TikTok and Oracle, who's the web host, and anyone else who helps maintain TikTok, Apple, Google, all those, is an $850 billion fine. So they can't just be playing guesswork or relying on promises here. So they need to follow this statute because the risk is too high. So you've got to have a path. You've got to have actual evidence, which I have not seen yet, because TikTok says they aren't selling. And then within the period, so number 3 there, within that extension period, the actual documents have to get executed. So you're risking a lot if you don't have something pretty close, because within 90 days you've got to basically close that deal, or have all the legal binding documents done. So I just think it's going to take time to really meet those criteria in a way that the companies are going to feel comfortable with, that they aren't going to be enforced against. I don't think they're just going to rely on Trump's promise that he won't enforce it, or if he says I'm granting an extension, but it really doesn't meet these criteria, then I don't think they should jump on that. So I think it's going to take some time. Now, what is a qualified divestiture? Because that's what you need, meaning TikTok USA has to be completely separate from ByteDance and any connection to any foreign company in an adversarial country like China. Okay, so step 1, it has to be able to, by an interagency evaluation or process, so it can't just be Trump. They wrote this in there so the president couldn't just say it. There has to be an interagency process. Now, Trump's going to be nominating all of his agency heads. So part of this is that the process of a qualified divestiture is going to require certification, or the Senate confirming the appointees to the heads of these agencies. So that could take some time. Then has to show that it's no longer controlled, so it's separated entirely from the foreign adversary country. And then 2, also, in addition, and yet another layer of interagency process, you have to be able to show that there is no connection anymore whatsoever, including the algorithm, including any kind of maintenance, any kind of relationship for any functional element of TikTok cannot be connected to the new entity that's being divested from the ByteDance and the foreign adversarially controlled companies. So you've got to basically totally separate things out. And this is what's tricky, because I think if they do sell oh yeah, go Bills, although I'm a Seahawks fan and a Bills fan. So if the app gets sold, TikTok USA, and has to completely separate out from ByteDance and any of the algorithm stuff, it is not going to be the same app. So this is why the law either has to get changed so that it no longer is the law and TikTok can just continue on as it is. If we go down the route of a sale, and that's the route we go to get TikTok back, we aren't getting TikTok back. We are getting a whole new app back that will not have the algorithm, because that's not going to ever be included. So it's going to be a totally different app. The algorithm's going to be different. It's going to function different. It isn't going to be TikTok. If you're hoping for Trump to do something, you're going to hope he gets in there and he lobbies to get the law actually reversed. The sale thing is not going to result in anything that anybody wants. It could probably just end up being a crappy TikTok version. I think it's going to go dark for a while. I think it should. I think it stays dark to put pressure on the politicians to reverse the law. That's the best case scenario. Hi, my name's Lee. I'm an attorney here in Washington State. I don't do constitutional law, but I've been pretty on the money about how this TikTok thing is breaking down. And so give me a follow, hit the subscribe, notifications. I'm going to start posting more. No, this isn't going to be my permanent setup. I'm just doing this because TikTok got banned. So yeah, audio, video, I'll dial it in, don't worry.